humbly beg your mercy, that the soul of your servant Mark, whom you have called from this life, may be brought by you to a place of peace and light, and so be enabled to share the life of all your saints, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm just flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. There's bound to be some people who just don't like, you know, racists. Who knows what the motive could be, you know? You know, the example's there.
Do you feel hatred against those people?
At first, yes, but after thinking about it, no, you know. I won't stoop to their level, you know. Hatred only brings you down to their level, you know. And you find you're going backwards rather than forwards.
And when you see NF written on your mural?
Well, it means that somebody's getting frightened of seeing the truth, you know, seeing harmony, you know. People, you know, they don't like down-to-earth things, you know. They like escapism. You know, if we painted naked people up here or something like that, you know, or war and all that, that would have been better, you know. Maybe paint Hitler and murderers, that, you know, maybe they'd like to see that, you know. When you paint, like, scenery, you know, things that are nice, you know. No matter what it comes down to, who's done it, can't be anybody with any love in their heart, you know, or any kind of harmony.
So what you're here, what is your purpose for being here?
Try and find out something about life on Broadwater Farm. What kind of people live here, what they care about.
Why Broadwater Farm?
It seems like an interesting place where lots is going on.
Why? Why is it interesting?
Well, I suppose partly because of the right.
Right.
And partly because of the community organisations.
Partly the right. That's the only reason you're here, isn't it?
It's not the only reason.
No, well, you've got many other reasons, but if the riot never took place, you would not be here talking to me right now. You wouldn't know I existed, would you?
Hello, Margaret. How are you?
Oh, I'll be all right on the day.
Hey?
I'll be all right on the day.
What are you doing today? Hey?
I don't know.
All right, hold on. All right. Sorry, Margaret.
Both of them sound good. No, it's one of them. Both of them.
Just evenings after school, staying on at school.
No, because there was some apprentice courses coming up, you know.
What's that, computer?
No, road maintenance and
Justin wouldn't do that, Justin.
no,
Yeah.
and building and that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see, bro. What's going on? She's passing up and down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, jeans.
Yeah, we'll get on.
Confidential, yeah.
Anyway.
Talk to you a bit.
I'm going next to her. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 20, all right?
I haven't got no money. I've got £1 between me and death. If I die now, I can't even bury. Give me 10 Benson. Please. Yeah, I don't mind. How's it going, Margaret?
All right.
Talk to your son, have you? Have you heard the lady?
No, what? Oh.
My boy.
Oh. Key.
Secret. Secret. Let me into the secret. I like secrets. Yeah.
You see, this one, right, is for over that part there. We level out the thing already, innit? Yeah. The road this one too. But we got this one around here now to do. That's this one there that we're doing, you know? And what it is, we got to dig down, is it 1.42?
So how old are you?
17,
And when did you leave school?
last year, January.
Is this the first job you've had?
Yeah.
And how do you find it?
I think it's all right, you know? It's a bit hard waking up 8 o'clock in the morning, but it's all right.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Sleeping, probably.
And why did you leave school?
I just got fed up. And plus, they expelled me anyway.
What do they expect you for?
For just truanting.
So do you think that this kind of work might be good for the future?
Yeah, it's an experience.
Do you think there's something special about Broadwater Farm, that they have these kind of projects, or do you think you could probably find work like this elsewhere?
No, it is good that they've got these sort of things, you know? Helping the youngsters. Yeah.
So what do you dream of for the future, something you dream of the future?
My future? No, I just want to own my modelling agency. Yeah.
Back it up, Josie. Please.
Yeah. Well.
Come, Classford, do your job, man. I don't want no 50-50 love, don't want no 30-30 love. Vaseline?
Yeah?
Think you like you're using Vaseline? Nivea, my dear, Nivea.
What's up? Go shoot. Go shoot.
Why are you getting serious for?
I'm getting serious, man.
I'll be serious with me, okay?
Where did Danny
You want to drink if you want to drink, man, but you know, he's mine, you know, big,
Passage, I'm just going to give these out, right?
big bully.
They're from Pauline,
Hey, Cashara.
BDS.
You drink so much, man.
Okay?
Did she leave something for me here?
You want to wife with your Tina, just in case.
It's all right.
In case what? What can I do for you, sir?
For me? Well, you can give me your job, that's what you can do.
Catchford, what's going down, man?
What's going down?
See, you know, I work for the council.
Can't
Them
find
sack
my
you
man.
up.
They ain't sack me, they don't work to rule. I mean, what good's that to me? I'm not earning nothing.
You don't get pay. You know, in a union, man.
Yeah, but the bonus and that lot goes, man.
What do you mean the bonus? So you're getting money for doing nothing?
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Where the hell
Look at all that overtime that's going to waste.
Where have I put my mail?
You want to come here and get extra work?
Yeah.
And then
why
go
not?
back when the job done?
Yeah.
And deprive one of we from a job? I gave you 50 pence this morning.
I know, boss.
Spent it on what?
Toast, I know. 2.20.
You spent 30 pence on toast.
Food toast.
Huh?
And got 20.
And you got what? 20 left?
And what 20 at Whoa!
There is no sensible reason for anybody to say that people from Brixton should come to work in Tottenham, or people from Brighton should come to work in Tottenham, or people from Blackpool should come to work in Tottenham. Please let me finish. Please let me finish.
Or people from Jamaica come to work in England. Really, that's the same thing. The mobility of labour. You are challenging. You are challenging the mobility of labour. That's wrong. You're wrong.
No responsible thinking person could expect anybody from outside a community to come inside a community and do just as good a job, right? Please, can I finish? Anybody who lives on Broadwater Farm or who lives in Stamford Hill or anywhere, right, will do a better job than drafting anyone from anywhere in the country, right? And what I'm saying to you is, as an English man, right, I deserve the right to work in my community.
One moment.
Right?
Okay.
Simple as that. I deserve the right to work here, right? And you can't tell me I can't work here, and your governor can't tell me I can't work here, because that's my right. I live here.
All right. Fine. Yeah. Right. Could we move on? Yes.
You understand now, and I think it's clear. No work can be put up in Broadwater Farm without recruiting local labor. Now, we don't want people to come here and patronize us, or, you know, goody-goody to tell us, all right, we are going to take 3 people because we are goody-goodies, right? So you have to get there together, here, locally, with the council. The community needs to see the contract or tenders, you know, before they're put out, so that we can see how much potentiality there is in each contract for employment.
I think the point has been made is a correct point, and I think it's a point that we have considered in the council, that in terms of the contracts that are let to contractors, that is a clause that is in there, and it is supervised and it's monitored, not only by the BDS, but by the residents themselves. That clause will probably be struck out in future. I mean, are you aware of that? I mean, do you know about this in terms of contract compliance? Yeah?
Can I come in and back?
Yeah.
Broadwater Farm have no intention for any building go up on Broadwater Farm unless local labor is used, and away from local labor unless some of those contract is given to the co-op, government, council, or anybody, because we are going to sit there and no contract will go up. Yes? So it's best as an MP to go back to the House and tell them that Broadwater Farm is one of this community who is going to fight for that, because we are not going to go back in the time when youths don't have a job and old people cannot walk and this house in the state. So you can tell the government that Mrs. Kiffin from Broadwater Farm Youth Association said that this is the time that they are going to arrest me and put me behind bars, because I'm the first one who's going to take out the youths this time, and we are going to sit there and we are going to build our fire underneath there and cook, right? For as long as it takes us. All right?
Well, can I say that I would be more than happy to pass your message on to the Prime Minister and the relevant people, but I think that it would be better coming from you yourselves. And I understand that there is a minister coming here on Thursday morning, Marion Rowe. I think that you should tell her what you think about this exclusion of this clause to do with local labor, because I think it's an abomination.
No, no, no.
public business this now. Don't even bother take off on the things, man. We don't want no more television people here. Too much television people. We're not criminals. We don't want to be photoed.
I don't know what's wrong with them. What do they go down the high road?
No, a pure work are going over here, sir.
I'm telling you, from 8:30. From 8:30 this morning. Don't put a fucking camera on me, you know, I'll fucking break it. Don't put it on me. Nobody put no camera on me at all. If you put camera on me at all, I mash it up. I hope the television don't come here.
Very fine woman, looking woman.
Very fine woman that is, isn't it? Jolly good looking woman. You know you're conservative, but it's too late. Yes, you are. Conservatives. Come on. Well, yeah, still conservative. Hello, Lady Di, how are you then? Looking nice.
Game is over.
Yeah, this is one with all the flag poles.
The flagpole's coming in.
Yeah, all the flags.
What they're doing now is laying the hard ground, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, we're putting in some hardcore.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And we're taking off a wall over the back there.
Yeah.
Which we're seeing much difficulty.
And how many of you work here? Just the two of you?
No.
No?
You see, we're spread out over two sites, you see.
I see. Oh,
We've got
I
the
see.
Nation Gardens and the Remembrance Gardens over the other side, you know.
So how many
So
are
we
in your
split.
team? How many altogether?
11.
11. How many girls in the team?
Only one.
That's you.
She's the only queen we have there.
But the second phase will be all girls. I mean,
alternative measures.
Immediate response. Are you all happy, everybody?
Yes.
Fine.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we move on.
Well, no rest for the wicked.
Very nice to meet you both.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So she came over here to say, well, you know, I've been to the Broadwater farm, and then when she goes back to reporting, she's going to say, well, yeah, it's not so bad, I was treated so-and-so, or whatever them want to say. It was a publicity business to say them come over here.
Yeah, well...
You know, I don't know over here, really. She
I
not do
agree.
nothing for we.
I mean, we get down to the facts of it. It's all right standing up and smiling with a geezer with a spade or having a conversation with somebody who's driving a dumper. But the policies that her government are putting forward means that the guys that she came and could stand up and crack a smile and have a joke with this time next year won't be allowed to hold a spade because they won't be allowed to have that job.
I'm not going to work up there.
You can go and work back there because you're security, you've got a good job, you're a good secretary, you can work the computer and you're good. You don't want to be working with the painters there because you've got no prospects. Tell her not to.
Yeah, you got no prospect.
She's upstairs in the office, mate, you're an office girl.
Don't tell me what I am.
But you're secure.
Not upstairs.
You leave nothing else, can't leave, and you can leave and look what happened to you now.
You didn't want me to leave because you can't use the phone now?
I can use the phone any time.
Well, go and use it.
I use any phone. I'm international. I've got 3 stripes and 2 pips. I look out there for see you. and say, hi babe, what's happening?
Yeah, and at the same time he's got this woman on the other end of the phone.
She's not my woman.
He has to say that he's on camera.
I'm no woman. That's just an associate. I picked up the number. I was walking down the street and I pick up this number and I have to ring it every time. This girl always says, hi, what's happening? You know, it's not my woman. I don't have no woman. I'm a bachelor. It's my one-parent family. I like big belly.
No, it's true.
One parent. Well, you're a one-parent family as well, so I don't know what you're going on with. I think we one-parent families should get together.
I mean, to me, if you're going out for a night to enjoy yourself, you want to put your child with somebody you trust. Go and enjoy yourself and come back without worrying the world.
That is
not sort of be out in your brains going over lump of space.
We're all here.
That's right.
To get acquainted with somebody. For example, you have met me before. Today is the
No,
first time.
first time I've seen you.
If I had a kid and you get to know me and trust me, then you'll be able to leave your child with me, won't you? Whereas if you never met me before,
I won't leave it.
This is it. So this is why I said if we come together and get acquainted to each other, then you pick, it's not just 1, 2, 3 women, a group of women, and among those group of women, maybe you'll be able to pick one person you trust.
Yeah.
You understand my point? You know, I think...
Because it's such a personal thing. I don't think that anything's really right or really wrong. You just have very different ideas, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but what is it you're looking at? Just a babysitting stint, 2-3 hours a night or something like that, or an all-night sleepover sort of thing?
You could lead to that. I mean, it's up to who's ever looking after
Well, this
you.
is it.
Wants the child to be
Everybody's got a
looked
different
after.
life, you know. Some people go out 9 and come home 11. I mean, I won't go out until 11 and come home next morning.
Can I come with you?
Do you like it, yeah?
Yeah, it's... Well, I like it, but it's got a name, but that's only what other people have given it. It's not half as bad as what it's painted. I mean, I've lived here 17 years. I've never been raped, mugged or broken into, so, you know, it can't be that bad. And I walk around all hours, so it's not too bad at all. Singers.
Do you find it difficult coping alone?
Not really. Well, I've got used to it now. It's nearly 5 years. And I think, if anything, I've got so independent, I think even if I did go out and meet somebody and it come they wanted to live here, I don't think I could cope, you know? Because I've got myself in such a routine with my kids. Like, we got our time together, they've got their time and I've got my time. And for me, for an outsider to come, no, it's disturbing. No, I couldn't have it. I couldn't have no man sitting here resting himself on my settee. Oh, no, I couldn't take that. Do me anything. Oh, I couldn't take none of that. No. No, I think a single parent, really, I think is the happiest person on God's earth when you're single. You only need a man for one thing. When they've done that, show them the door. No, I couldn't have no man oiking himself round near me. Drive me to drink.
And what kind of projects are you involved with at the moment?
Well, at the moment, we're doing massive paintworks on the estate, which is a joint venture between the Youth Association Co-op and the council. And we're also doing landscape gardening, which, as you know, in '85, you know, we had an uprising, you know, caused by the death of Mrs. Jarrett, you know, and we, at the moment, doing a landscape gardening, which is called a remembrance garden, which is in honour of Mrs. Jarrett and also the police officer, Keith Blakelock.
He died on the spot, Frank, did he?
Yeah, just over there.
Yeah, over on the side there.
The reason why PC Blakelock's been included is because his death is a reality of what happened on Broadwater Farm. It's not something somebody made up, it's not fiction, it's something that actually happened and we're acknowledging it, right? It's fact, right? And we're not hiding from it, we're not running away from it. The difference being Cynthia Jarrett died in her home, a mother of children, and PC Blakelock was sent here as part of what we believe was some form of oppressing army. It's just a matter of we don't want anybody to forget what happened,
But at the same time, we don't want any other community to have to go through what we've gone through.
I came back on the Monday morning and it just looked like World War III. And I think everybody was in sort of shock. I mean, in one way, I'll say it shouldn't have happened, but then a lot of things happened that shouldn't happen. But I'm not being wicked when I say this. But on the other hand, I think for the majority of black people that live on here, and the youth, especially the youth, because they get like accused of a lot of things, and I know some of them boys from when they was in juniors and infant school, because I was dinner lady over there. They come from decent, respectable homes. But, I mean, I've walked along from here just to the play bus, and I've seen two kiddies, brother and a sister, in front of me, and a policeman with ginger hairs passed them and asked them, what you doing on the street with that lead round your neck, like if they're dogs.
Yes, yeah. Welcome, yo.
Oh, man.
Yes. Yo, welcome. You don't beat me. You lose more, you're not dread. Right.
I'm off to you.
If I watch this game, you know, your eyes have to be aware at all times. Yes, yeah. Welcome, yo. Sit you up. Come in, come in, come in.
Right, my king will do that to you. Set you up.
Malachi won. He always wins.
Yes.
You're a pretty good single parent.
I'm not one, I'm
Pretty good.
Malachi 6.
We know you're 6. And if you don't be a good boy, you won't see 7.
I will see 7. It's going to be 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about up to 100 and 1,000.
Yeah, live to 1,000.
Yes.
Probably will.
When I'm 1,000, will I be big? How old is God?
Oh, thousands and thousands of years.
Huh?
God is thousands and thousands of years old.
Is he 1,000? When he's in the clouds, right, he looks big in a... Is he bigger in a house?
Bigger than the world.
Is he bigger than you? Is
He's the only one that's bigger than me, though. Nobody else is bigger than me but God. Cool now, man. Malachi.
When I'm white, right, is that bit going to be brown?
You're not going to be white. You're always going to be black.
Oh, yeah, maybe just going to change.
No.
White.
You don't want to change white.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Yes, I do. I'm not going to be white.
No, if you be white, I won't be your daddy then, would I? Because I'm black and you're white, so I wouldn't be your daddy. So you'd lose me to be white.
I want to be white. I'm not going
Would
to
you
be...
lose me to be white?
No.
So you have to stay black then.
I want to stay white.
But if you stay white, I won't be your father because I'm black.
I know, but I want to be white.
So that means you're going to not have me then and be white, yeah? So
Be still white.
you can't be still white and I'll be your daddy.
Am I going to be white?
You're never going to be white.
But you said this is going to be white.
No, I said there was a little bit of white thing on your chest. I said you're turning white. I was only joking.
No, you wasn't.
Was? You can't turn black from white.
Wasn't.
You're upset now.
No, I wasn't. It's not a joke.
But your granddad's black, isn't he?
But what about my cousin's orange?
He's black, say
He's
what?
orange.
He's black.
He's orange.
He's not white, is he?
No.
So? He wouldn't be a cousin if he was white, would he?
He's orange. It's not black. It's orange. So are you.
I'm black.
You're brown.
I'm black.
Brown, is he brown?
I'm not brown, I'm black.
You're brown.
There's no such thing as...
You're brown. You're
I'm black.
brown.
Alright? And you fellows say you're black as well, and you'll never, ever, 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 ever be white.
You're brown.
I'm black.
You're brown.
You say me black, man.
You're brown.
Me not tell you say me black, man.
You're brown.
He's all your
Is he brown?
Everyone who appears on a camera over here gets arrested. That's why they all disappear when you got the camera.
Well, that's not true, in fact, is it?
It is true.
You're not going to.
I'm not going on here.
You wouldn't know because you wasn't taught, brought up to know how people suffer. You understand? People suffer in many ways, you know. It's not just not having money or, you know, many ways people suffer. Suffering jobs, suffering education. You know what I mean? It's not just, I've got no money, or I've got no food. You know what I mean? It's just, you don't know sufferation. You've not been taught suffer. You've not been brought up to know sufferation. You understand?
On his own, number 8. 2 and 3, 23. 1 and 3, 13. 4040. 8080. 3030. All the ones, legs 11. Thank you. 2 and 4, 24. 5 and 1, 51. 5 and 9, 59.
59.
Yeah, the bottom.
The bottom one there. Bottom one.
So where are you up to?
I don't know. Everybody I think
Right.
ready and burst out the stories.
Well, I don't mind, you know.
When tonight?
I don't mind.
Ready.
Well, me
no mind.
I don't mind.
It's up to them, man. There.
I wouldn't go back to where I was before. I mean, our houses were falling to bits.
Yeah.
We had a roof. We had the main roof. Instead of being like that, it was like that.
Nice.
And our bedroom was in the front, and we had to move downstairs.
No wonder we were all so damp and got all those black beetles.
Do you think that's what
Did
it
you get
was?
black beetles?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
We used to get all manner of vermin there.
We used to
mice
shovel
and
them up.
rats and
Rats, we
bugs.
I know we didn't.
In the old days, you had
Oh,
bugs.
yeah, oh,
Everybody
yeah.
had bugs.
Oh,
didn't
yeah, you wouldn't be fashionable if you hadn't got bugs. Well, I mean,
Before you moved here, where you were living together, was it?
I wasn't living.
Sorry, when you were living on the same street.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, everybody knew everybody, you know. And there was a nice little pub at the bottom of the road, and I used to go there quite often.
And
In
is
fact,
it lonelier here?
lonely, yeah, I say it is. I mean, we're on our own, or most of us. Well, we got friends, but they don't come round and see us much, do
they
they?
won't come on the estate.
had her frightened to come here. When you mentioned Broadwater Farm, I said, oh, that place?
So I say to them, do you live there? They said,
Yeah.
oh no. They say that to me. Broadwater Farm.
Yeah, Broadwater Farm.
The old rights.
See, this is what finished
I mean,
it, really, was the right.
Do you know, at one time, my brother-in-law came from Basingstoke to see us, and he couldn't find Broadwater Farm. He went to the police station, and they didn't even know. They started to look it up.
Oh!
Yeah. But they know where it is now.
I bless you, I think they do too as well after that.
I mean, there was all the fire going on out there, and they came up the stairs where she lived with the
they took all my
with the
milk
bombs,
bottles.
took the milk bottles to make
Filled them up.
bombs.
Yeah. I heard them outside my front door getting milk bottles.
When I first arrived here, there was a gentleman who liked putting peanut shells in the lift. This is sort of Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights. But since then he's branched out. We're now getting in 2 lifts every weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. At least £2 of shells.
Do you know who it is?
No, but we presume he's Spanish in that he used to leave little poems about the way the world is run down and this sort of thing in Spanish, which we had to get translated, of course, to find out what he was on about. But he's still there and he's still going. That's 6, 8 years at least.
It's like frustration is a funny thing. You take it out mostly on the people who are close to you. Now, in a community like this where everybody knows everybody, right, tension can grow between friends, or friends can become enemies overnight and then they're in an enclosed situation again. And you've got a recipe for trouble, right? And I mean, I know you can ask all experts who study this and that, economics and sociology and all that, and they'll come up with the same thing. It's a recipe. It's bound to be a recipe for disaster. I mean, only a couple of months ago, a close friend of mine, a good friend of mine, was killed, and to me that was a waste, a total waste. I mean, it was a guy who wanted to work. It was a guy that, I mean, if time had stood still, I mean, he would have been working now. You see, if you've got the feeling, I mean, for instance, if a person is working and he feels he's contributing, he's responsible, he is a man, right? Now, because of the way this society has treated us, right, I mean, it's hard enough for us to grow, right, but without a job, right, then suddenly what we interpret as manhood can be completely different. It's like to say that you cannot accept anything from anybody. You have to stand your ground. You have to be firm, because if you don't, you look small, right? And that's the sort of framework we've been pushed into, right? That's the sort of framework we've been pushed into. Anything that happens, right? You got to stand firm. I mean, the loss of a life is not worth it, right? No way, no how, right? We have to find something better to do than kill ourselves.
I mean, the day when Mark died, because we've got a little studio, you know, he's supposed to be around my house. And we was recording and everything. A couple friends came round to my house and said, Mark just died. So I said, shut up, rubbish, you know? So what are you talking about? They said, Mark just died. Someone just stabbed Mark and ran out at the youth association. So then all of us decided to go over there to see what happened. By the time we went over there, we couldn't even get into the youth association because police was boarding it off, you know? So then we couldn't even still believe that he died. We thought that he just hurt and that was it. That was the end of it, man. Hey girl, long time no see. Do you have a little time to spend this night with me? I wanna know what's been going on in your life. Talk to me, baby. Your hair, the perfume you wear, bring back memories of you and me. You look so fine, you blow my mind all over again. Go ahead. Wicked!
Jude! Have you brushed your teeth? We're coming in school. Come on, it's time now. Come on. Soon? Ready? Zay!
Yeah.
What are you going to do today, then?
I don't know if I'm coming up there.
Don't run up and down too much, you know. Because, we want a hoe, baby. Hey?
See you soon.
Don't want to give me one, eh?
See you later.
Okay, then. Well, what's up? Hey?
He was working for London Transport and he met up with a lady known as Dolly Kiffin because apparently they wanted to put a police station on the estate, and I think she came round knocking the doors and asking everybody to attend meetings, and he tended to be with her quite a lot, and they gradually got more and more people in their group or whatever it was.
Opposing the police station.
Yeah, and I think they went to the council and they got the little corner unit, the little chip shop that's now a hairdresser's, and they started to set up things for the youths. And
why was Glasford against a police station?
why was he against them?
Who wants a police station on an estate where we live? I mean, everyone else has a station on the high road, on a high street. We don't want a police station over here.
Well, that's it, you see.
No.
Because directly, I mean, the estate was mainly black at the time, and you would have had a load. I mean, youths were thinking of blowing it before it was even set up. They were thinking of blowing it up. So you can imagine what would have gone on. You know.
I didn't see how they could just put a police station and didn't really do anything for the people that was living on here, the youths or the people who were growing up on here. That would be very much unfair. So I didn't really, I thought that the community should step in and see what they could do to help the community and get everybody together and then develop something in the community that would benefit everybody.
Were you worried about the youths committing crimes?
Yes, and I was worried about the older people that was getting mugged and their home was breaking into. Pensioners couldn't take the noise. The pensioners was dying in their home. nobody care. You couldn't live into a community like that. So, to be fair, and because everybody have got a conscience, you want to search out everything and try everything before you could say, well, the police station was justified.
Every young man in the ghetto want to have money. It's a drive a nice car and smoke fancy. Some are modeling a silk suit and it can't see. Some are dream so hard that them gone crazy. The reality is truer than the fantasy. We dream about money, that's a fantasy. We have it in your pocket, that's a reality. In the dreams, it's the dreams of a ghetto chat. 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 So if you have enough money, don't spend it wild. Whole time saying that the well will run dry. Yeah, listen, this a youth, man, me not stop try. Me want a big house where me color TV. Me say that is not a dream, that is reality. Look how jungle pass him and them trash and ready. Say that is not a dream, that is reality. I said I want every youth man to listen to me. If you rock Barkley, better save your money. Buy a big house and invest wisely. Listen them the lyrics from a DJ daddy. When the dreams is the dreams of a ghetto chat. Dreams is the dreams of a ghetto chat.
Don't make him play no ball. Harry, shoot! Play, man. Kevin! Play, Trevor. Yes. Inside, Milan! Yes, come on! Go on there, get on the man! Come in on this! Come see what's going. Put the man under pressure! Come in! I mean, I shoes, you know. Give me your fucking training. Blood clot fancy business.
It's a little. This Broadwater farm, it's like a little world of its own, you know. Because from you're in here, it's very hard even to come out. I mean, say you wanted to go out onto the street, you know, it's so hard to get out the place, to walk so far to even get a bus or whatever. If you haven't really got a car, most of the people live in here all day, all week. They probably might come out once to sign on. That's about the only time to see. It's the only time to see the street when they go to the exchange to sign for the little government money salary, which is bad news, man. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? That's how it goes.
We are you, Daddy. They're just not ready for us, man. They're just not ready. Soft, man. No, make them finish it, man. We're just not run well. We're just can't spring foot. What am I talking about? Replay. What the fuck? Hey, you see again. Rule change again, you know.
We draw with the management and we never play on the extra time.
Yeah, man.
We play management, we never play on the extra time. We are the undisputed champions of Broadwater.
Champion, what?
Just come and go over here, sir. We are rapper.
Hey, wait, hey! Where you walk with me alcohol for, man? He's a bad man. Idiot for bad.
And you see how fast the painters them run?
Idiot for bad.
Black and black don't mix. How? You go into one area, a black man and a black man can't get on. Why? You don't know what you say, right? Because
you have to look at what you buy.
All right, look at the works that Miss D do, right? And yet still, the paper them trying to scandal her, right? But it's not the white people them so much coming around and doing something. All right, we know the police and the government are gonna try something, but all the black people them around here and in enough place have no confidence. Them believe what they're reading in the paper, enough of them. And it's a load of rubbish.
Majority of people do believe.
Well, so what? Is black people supporting black people? They're my idiot.
That's right.
They're my fool. They're envious and greedy because somebody's trying to do work for them, right? And they're not supporting it. They're not supporting it. They listen to the white people as well.
All right, listen. How much times you hear people say, me study this and me study that?
It's the same thing.
Me study tried. She tried. There's always, as I said before, there's always someone to put me study down or put black people down. You try to reach the top, they try to put you down. So me study gone, how we got caught?
I'm showing you some black and black do not support each other. They don't.
You don't think about that, do you?
Black was divided.
Because black man too ignorant.
Right?
I'm not
I'm showing you,
divided.
and I'm showing
I'm
you.
not divided.
Hold on now. Listen,
I'm not
showing
divided.
you. I'm showing you. If because you say we fight, if because you say we do this, we do that, we're not divided, then you're mistaken, right? Because if you go to listen to me. West Ham supporters, Millwall supporters, Chelsea supporters will come together. Listen, will come together to beat up black man. Don't tell me about no past, right, Rasta?
It's the truth, though.
Right, they'll come together to beat up black man, right?
That's something that's been happening for years. We can't hide from that.
That's why we're trying to put stuff to it now.
All right, where do we get
Hey, listen. I love Michael. I have my 6-year-old son look for me and tell me he want white. And someone like I tell me, you know.
Right. And then that means that
must mean... You say he want grow up white because if he grow up white, he will have a better chance. A 6-year-old boy, I tell me
but
that.
Him not wrong.
I mean, never tell him nothing about black and white from him born.
But him not wrong. Him not wrong. As a youth, him not wrong. You think about him thinking, I England this, you know.
I'm a 6-year-old boy can look for me and tell me say he want
white. I'm not wrong, because I England this.
He want me tell him, God now make you white, you know. Him say, listen, daddy, when I'm 18 or 19, I'll be white. And when I tell him God's not making him white, he's upset because he cannot be white. So what's going down? My fault. I've never taught him about racism.
It's your fault.
Why is it my fault? It's his school fault.
You're making the same mistake, man. You don't have to teach him about racism. All you got to teach him is that he is black.
He knows he's black. I've told him he's black. Right? He goes to school and a white boy look upon him and tell him Tarated, you're better off if you're white.
And he come back and you have him for 6 years and the white boy tell him that and he come back and tell you same white.
I don't know what.
Are you a dreadlocks?
He's been going to school for 2 years. So I don't know what am I teaching my school?
We are second generation black people in this country. The first generation went through that. Can't we learn from our own mistakes? Hey? Can't we learn from our own mistakes? Look, man, don't talk to me like that.
What would your son tell? It's no, you're talking to me like I'm saying to myself, boy, it's all right for you to be white. I'm telling you what my 6-year-old son come tell me. What would you tell him?
I'm not holding him responsible. I'm holding you responsible.
Why me? Why am I responsible?
Show the man the difference.
He knows he's black. He doesn't know anybody but black people.
Listen to me.
How am I responsible?
Listen to me.
How am I responsible as a black man? Tell me.
Try and understand what I'm saying.
I don't understand what you're saying. I think you're quite negative.
Listen, I went through that, and I know. Listen to me, man, and I now know why I went through that. I know why my parents gave me a little skinny comb like that and said, comb your hair with that, when that comb couldn't possibly comb my head.
I don't teach Malachi white culture.
So what you teach him?
Black culture.
How?
At yard. I teach him about black culture.
How do you teach him about black culture?
What do you mean, how do I teach him?
You teach him how to grow, Rasta.
What do you mean, how to grow?
How do you teach
him
about black culture?
He's a 6-year-old you. What can you tell a 6-year-old
That's
you?
right, you don't know how to teach a 6-year-old black culture.
What do you mean black? I'm black, I'm not white.
Yes, that's right, you're black.
So am I going to bring him up white? When he comes home, we don't eat fish and chips.
So what's he eating?
He's eating rice and peas.
But what if I'm telling him what fish and chips do?
In the
He tells him we don't like rice and peas, we want fish and chips. We don't tell him you can't eat nothing. You can't eat nothing because you want fish and chips.
He does tell me that.
It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference. If you say to him, well, all right, you want fish and chips. Well, fish and chips is not your real food. No, I'm not saying you can't teach him. I said, can he understand at 6 years old?
Then how are you going to understand that he must eat what you tell him to eat?
Not what me tell him to eat. We are giving something to eat, but it's for good for him, right? I'm trying to put it across. It's
yeah, but you're trying to tell him that he must understand that he must have what you tell him because he's a kid.
Yeah, all right then.
So why can't he understand anything else apart from that?
May I make him grow first? May I make him grow first?
The man is
You're mistaken then, and you're living amongst Listen to me. So what books are you going to read?
You know more about black people than white people, innit? You know you're white.
I know more about white people than I know about black people.
Why is that?
What do you mean, why is that?
You choose to learn about white people, innit?
What do you mean? I've had 16 years. I had 16 years of teaching about white people. I learned nothing about black people. I know. Listen, this is right. I now know more about white people.
He has not known nothing about black people.
It's up to you to go to the library to learn about black people.
You're right. We're right. We're black. We have to live as black, but we have to live in the white system. You understand what I'm saying? We can't go out there and say we're gonna fight the system to be white. That can't work.
Richie.
That can't work, Rasta.
If you're black, now listen to me.
You're
if
black
you
and that's
are
it.
black, all right, answer me. If you are black, right, and you are trying to live in a white system, and the system will not let you live, What are you going to do?
Why are you trying to be in the white system, though? Because you choose to be.
You're in a white system. That's what you said. You're in a white. You're in a
This is
white
a white
country.
country, innit?
This is my country. That's what you fail to understand. This is my country.
And my country too.
That's it.
Right, you understand me?
I'm in
Right?
born here,
So
so
I'm not into no white business. This is my country.
Because you're born here and you live here all your life.
That's the difference.
A man have got no respect for man. White man have no respect for white man. Black man don't have no respect for black man.
Right.
So the only thing, as far as I'm concerned, now personally I'm giving you my personal view. The only thing as far as I'm concerned, right, is that it's only God one that will come down, destroy all the sinners, and we live life again.
England we there, 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 England we there. Wake up in the morning straight in the bathroom, brushing my teeth and then me watch them gloom. Sitting at the kitchen, me make me breakfast. England we there, we have to fast. So England we there, 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 we have to score one goal. Now we no jacket, we have in a hole. If me do that, me would have suffer one cold. My heart don't carry no hold. So England we there, 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 England we there. One prime minister in England. To tell you the truth, she is a woman. Just get elected for another 5 years. What's happening nowadays? So, zee boom, zee boom, zee boom, boy, yeah. Zee boom, zee boom, zee boom, boy.
Well, would have never believed such shit that I think woman the daughter.
You want to stop looking on the rascal girl? What woman daughter?
See what we even proud. You don't know what? Do you know who mum is?
You don't know? Better we don't tell him. Better we don't tell him. Better we don't tell him. You don't know who mum is? You will find out soon. You never seen them walking together? Alright.
Me coming to the wedding door, that must be
My wedding?
laugh.
You are the last man for marry I heard. Me? When me marry me 65.
Thank God for it.
65.
Why 65?
By 65 I was supposed to be shattered. I'm supposed to be no use to nobody.
Marriage is an institution that was created for the slavery of man.
Yeah,
Not by a woman.
No, I believe it's them bringing the marriage business, you know.
Of course.
They must have bringing the marriage business.
It was a woman.
Marry them, man.
Hey, look, people think women are stupid. Of course not. Who else could come up with an institution that makes sure that she will be looked after until her dying days?
And we don't get the looking after. You believe that? We
get
the pressure.
Deliberately.
We get the pressure, the migraine.
The man is conned into believing
Bigger.
that he is the brains of the operation,
What you want?
Come in, nigga, come in.
Come after me.
Come in and talk, because you're my hygiene. I want to give me some skin.
Where your skin?
Who?
What skin you want now?
Are you my love?
Your love?
So I go down.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I'll get Mr. Silcock. Don't you want to say nothing, Mr. Silcock?
Say what?
Come with them, man.
Say what? What do them do? What them could do?
Say what you have to say.
Hmm? Them advantage my son. The majority of these people advantage my son. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
My son have no argument with brother out of riot.
No.
And he still sent to prison for maximum 30 years. Yes? And my son have no argument with it. He's no ringleader of nothing. He was in nothing that he have to be a ringleader. Yeah? Okay.
I second that. Sticks is a casualty.
He wasn't in nothing to be a ringleader. And if the truth should come forward. And as far as me see these people, you're supposed to have a lot of intelligent people in this place here. You're supposed to. But we are them now. We are there. Me not see them. Because as far as I see them blind right now to the facts.
Listen, everything they are trying to do is to ensure that he does not come out because they want this country to believe that their policemen can be safe walking the streets because they can find the killers. And we know that is a lie and that their policemen are not safe on the streets. And if they do get hurt and if they do get damaged, a scapegoat will be found to pay for it. We know that now. Right, but we didn't know that before.
Why did man have to be punished?
Why? Because that's the system. Because somebody's got to pay. Somebody black has got to pay.
That is not right.
Of course it's not right, but who? Has it ever been right towards
That's
us?
not right.
Has it ever been right towards us? Why all them parents let their children go to the wall time after time after time? Go to the wall, and suddenly now we realise it can be serious. It means that they can take away our friends for... And I'll never see him. How am I going to see him? The only way I'm going to see him then is for me to say, well, me and my brethren have to go break him out of prison because the system don't intend to give the boy no freedom. Because as far as they're concerned, somebody must pay.
Nothing could happen worse than what happened here.
It's going to get worse. You don't understand?
Worse what?
Of course it's going to get worse.
Well,
look what happened. They kill a mother. They shoot a mother. They lock up innocent children. What worse can happen? They can come at your yard and kill you. They can come at your yard and kill you. They can come at my yard and kill me. Right? And they can go to a British court and a British judge will look at them and say, it's all right. You don't have nothing to answer. Shoot a woman, it's all right. You was under stress. You've been working so hard and we gave you a gun, not realising the pressures you was under, so you could go in there and shoot her. But don't worry about it. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to dismiss the cases, but you can't have a gun again. Great. Well done. Justice has been deemed to be served.
Andy.
N.
What have we got here?
For nest.
N for nest. Good boy. N for nest. Right.
O for ostrich.
Good girl, Tanisha. O for ostrich. Come on, everybody. O for ostrich. Right. What do you do with this, Tanika? Yeah, what do you do with the pear? Do you throw it?
No, eat it.
You eat it, right. P for...
When I had my Andrew, he was 3 months old. Took him to the clinic, right? And I was feeling a bit down because I'm one of them, I like to have things to do. I can't sit reading a book or knitting, you know. So I went down to the doctors and I was a bit depressed. The baby was 3 months old. Other people go to doctors and they say it's postnatal depression. Me, I was supposed to be made. So this woman come, right? But she didn't come to me, she went to the school. And she wanted to pick up my 2 boys, take me into care. Well, to me, that's the worst thing you can do to a child. A strange woman, take your kids to a strange place, you know? But in the end, I got all my apologies and everything. But then that's besides the point, because if I wasn't the way I am, and, you know, it'd been another young woman, they might have just broke down and the kid's gone away. Well, I just told her where to get on her Bowick, you know what I mean? And if she wanted a kid, she'd best go and breed one, because she ain't having mowing. The reason I think the majority of them is black that got the nursery and over there and that, I think it's because they got up and, I mean, nobody's saying that white people can't go there. I mean, I'll go in and out there, nobody don't interfere with me. And I'm sure if they had a vacancy and I wanted a job, I'd get it just as good as any other black woman. But I think there's no such thing as that they're taking over, because they ain't taking over nothing. They're just doing what should have been done, and it just so happens that it's a black group of people that have got it off the ground. So that happened, I die.
The way I'm going to grow my son is I'm going to grow him as an individual and compare him to nobody. He's got to do the best for himself. I'm not going to tell him he's got to go out and do that because he's going to build a better world. I'm going to tell him he's got to go out and do that because if he doesn't, the system's going to get him. You understand me? I'm going to be totally honest with him. I'm going to explain to him from I believe he can understand, and just hope that maybe his mentality can grasp what I'm saying and maybe he can get his head down.
Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." Right now we're going to ask the mothers of the church, the parents, godparents of this little child to come now. We're going to seek God's blessing. And if you look in your song sheets, you will see a song there, when mothers of Salem, their children brought to Jesus. This is no new thing. It has been happening throughout the ages, and we're following the instructions of Jesus Christ that they should be brought to Him. If the police say, as it's being alleged, that they want to see another riot in order to make their revenge, right? If that happens, well, of course, it's rather something that we would have to discredit outright. But you've got to first prove that that is the case. I'm not saying that you or anyone should not speak out continuously against visible police brutality. It always exists. But at the same time, you use an expression about fighting fire with fire. We're a loser by doing that.
I know. It's like what is going on in South Africa. But for me, I know there is a day, and that day is not far, that I must die. And if I die today, I'm just dead. Because as long as I know I died to let someone else live.
But why should you die when you could do something more positive? You can't contribute anything to society when you're dead. You can contribute more while you're alive.
It doesn't seem possible for us to do anything positive.
Oh
with
yes,
this
I believe it's possible. The spirit of togetherness and the spirit of harmony seem to be shining and reigning in your faces and in your hearts. And there are some times when some situations do occur that spoil things, and of course we should have our heads screwed on and make sure that we are one people, live together as one people, brothers and sisters, and we're quite sure that if we follow this pattern, we will be able to overcome all the difficulties that we seem to be experiencing in this part of the world.
I'm sure everyone else here will agree with me when I say I hope, you know, Jermaine has everything good coming to him in his future life and takes advantage of all opportunities that come his way. And everyone will agree with me when I hope he grows up to be someone that we can all be proud of. Okay?
When I come to make a speech, people kind of know what I stand for. And I hope that racism doesn't raise its head and avert my nephew, my godson, from getting what he really deserves in life. They can just go through life and get whatever he, as a youth and as an individual, properly deserves. I look here and I see some old timers, some of my dad's friends, and I know that as a young child I grew up amongst them. I heard a lot of things they said and I learned a lot from them. And I hope that JJ can see us and learn a lot from our experiences, our trials, our tribulations, our joys and our successes. And I hope that he can go forward and have many successes of his own in the future. God bless JJ.
But to all the people that have come, I'm happy because this is special to me, because to me he's a new dawning, he's a new generation, and hopefully he'll get better than what the last generation did get. So, you know, I'm grateful that he's here, and I hope he has a much better life than I did, really and truly.
If it's one person, there's an idiot. If it's a bunch of people, they're a bunch of idiots, you know. And they've come back the second time and attacked the picture again, you know. About 7 weeks, 7, 8 weeks.
What do you think motivates them?
Stupidity, you know. Malfunction in the brain, you know. Because I mean, people in the world, they're just like little, majority like ants, you know. You got nuclear weapons pointing there, nuclear weapons pointing there. War and contention and arguments, nation against nation, and innocent people coming up in the world, kids, all sort of people, you know. It's not that they're not affected by these things, you know. It makes them think, what's life about? You know, there's many questions what they ask, what nobody cares to answer. But through artwork, you know, you can put things what can people can recognize. They can see a picture and it can give them an uplift. It can make them feel better. They can say, yes, you know, there is something more to it than just, you know, seeing all the bad things, you know? And then, you know, you get the idiots coming along, and or the idiot, whoever they are, they're just smashing up everything, you know, they're just destroying everything, you know? Yeah, it's not the farm. The farm's not the only bad place in the world. There's many places worse than the farm. You know? Many places. They can't stop me anyway. I'll do it again. If they come back and wreck it a third, fourth, fifth time, I'll come back and I'll paint it again, you know? It just makes me stronger to keep coming back. Yes, I feel annoyed and I feel angry when they do it, but it doesn't take long for me to destroy that feeling within myself, suppress it, and come back again and do it in the right way, you know? So in a way, they're doing me a favor, you know? It's a bad way to get stronger, but you got to make the advantage out of bad things, you know, in life. That's the best way to do it.